The plane shook, rattled by sudden turbulence. Overhead bins trembled, drinks toppled, and passengers clutched their armrests, fear thick in the air. Then, a calm voice broke through the panic. "Please remain seated and fasten your seatbelts. We are all safe. The pilot is in control." The Filipino flight attendant's warm, reassuring English soothed everyone. Nervous whispers faded. Even the most anxious passengers breathed easier, comforted by her words. In the sky, far from home, it was her voice that brought everyone safely back to Earth. There was a time when Filipino English was the punchline of jokes. In old movies and comedy shows, people mimicked the accent to get a laugh. It was called Carabao English. Slow, strange, and sometimes awkward. People said it sounded funny, that it was not real English. Yet, somewhere between the jokes and the laughter, something changed. Today, Filipino English is the gold standard in international communication, especially in aviation. Airlines across the world hire Filipino crew because their English is easy to understand. In airports from Dubai to Doha, passengers feel relief when they hear a Filipino voice over the loudspeaker. Airlines trust them to deliver messages clearly, even in emergencies. The same is true in call centers. Companies prefer Filipino agents because their English is neutral and easy to follow. Filipino nurses and doctors are prized in hospitals worldwide for their gentle bedside manner and clear instructions. The world now listens carefully to Filipino English. What was once mocked has become a global asset. This shift did not happen overnight. It was the result of years of hard work, adaptation, and pride. Filipino English is no longer just accepted. It is celebrated. It is the language of safety, service, and warmth. Clara grew up in a small Visayan town, always reading English books and dreaming of flying. Classmates teased her accent, saying she'd never be a flight attendant. But Clara practiced every night, copying voices on the radio. Years later, she stood in a jumbo jet, her voice calm and clear. Now, Clara trains new flight attendants, telling them, "Speak with pride. People trust you because you sound sincere." Filipino English has a long and winding history. It began over a century ago when the Philippines became a colony of the United States. American teachers, called Thomasites, arrived in 1901 to teach English in public schools. Filipino children learned to read, write, and speak in English, but they mixed it with their own languages: Tagalog, Cebuano, Ilocano, and more. Over time, Filipino English became its own unique blend. It borrowed words and grammar from local dialects. The accents softened the sharp corners of American and British English. People spoke with a melody and rhythm that was warm and inviting. Filipino English was not just a copy, it was a creation. In the decades that followed, English became the language of government, business, and education. Filipinos used it to connect with the world. Yet, despite its usefulness, many people felt shy about their accent. They worried about sounding wrong or provincial. But Filipino English survived and grew. In time, it became a bridge between cultures. It allowed Filipinos to work, travel, and make friends around the globe. The history of Filipino English is a story of adaptation, resilience, and pride. For many years, Filipinos felt embarrassed by their English. Students were taught to imitate American or British accents. Teachers corrected every wrong sound. On TV, comedians made fun of Filipino English, turning it into a joke. People learned to hide their voices, speaking softly or not at all. But slowly, things changed. Filipinos began to see the strength in their way of speaking. They realized that their English was not bad. It was unique. It was shaped by history, by family, by life in the islands. It was a sign of adaptability and openness. Today, Filipinos speak English with confidence. In airports, hospitals, and call centers, their accent is greeted with smiles. It is a badge of identity, a sign that they belong to a global community. People no longer try to hide their accent. They use it to connect, to comfort, to lead. Embracing the accent took courage. It meant turning old jokes into new strengths. It meant believing that difference is not a weakness, but a source of pride. Filipino English is now a symbol of what Filipinos can achieve when they trust themselves. The world needs Filipino English. In the skies, airlines hire thousands of Filipino crew members every year. They know that passengers feel safe when instructions are clear and voices are calm. In the Middle East, Europe, and Asia, Filipino flight attendants are everywhere, guiding travelers across continents. Call centers in Manila, Cebu, and Davao are filled with voices answering questions from customers in New York, Sydney, and London. Companies choose Filipinos because their English is easy to understand, friendly, and professional. Even in hospitals, Filipino nurses are famous for their gentle way of explaining things to patients from all over the world. This demand is not just about speaking English. It is about the way Filipinos speak it, with warmth, clarity, and respect. Airlines and businesses know that Filipino English builds trust. It turns strangers into friends, customers into loyal clients. The global demand for Filipino English is a sign of its power. It is proof that a voice from a small island nation can reach around the world. Filipino English is not just a skill. It is a gift that keeps people safe, connected, and heard. What makes Filipino English special? It is clear, so everyone can understand. It is warm, so people feel welcome. It is neutral, free from strong accents that can confuse listeners. These qualities make Filipino English the language of choice in aviation, business, and healthcare. Testimonials from around the world tell the same story. A passenger remembers the calm voice that guided her through a stormy flight. A patient recalls the nurse who explained a difficult diagnosis in simple, caring words. A customer in Canada smiles when a Filipino agent helps solve a problem, saying, "I could hear the smile in her voice." Filipino English is more than just a way of speaking. It is a bridge between cultures, a tool for building trust, and a symbol of pride. It shows that difference is not something to hide, but something to celebrate. Today, the world flies, heals, and connects because of Filipino English. It is a badge of identity and a mark of excellence. In every word spoken, there is a story of resilience, kindness, and hope. And that is something to be proud of.